Okay, so hello everyone. The question which we will be solving today is solving questions with brain power. Okay, as you can see, the question number is 2140 and it is marked as a medium one. Okay, so now let's just read the description and try to solve this problem. Okay, so like before solving this question, like the previous used like the yesterday's POTD is yet to come. Okay, so it will be coming soon. Like in the meantime, you can like find the code in the on the like GitHub. Okay, so I'll be uploading it soon. Okay, so because of some reasons, I'm not like able to upload it daily. So I'll be trying to do that. But yeah, let's solve today's question. Okay, so you are given a zero index 2D integer array questions where questions I like question I represents points I and brain power I. Okay, right. The array describes the question of an exam where you have to process the question in order. Okay, starting from question 0 and make decision whether to solve or skip each question. Solving I question will earn you like earn you points uh, but but you will be unable to solve each of next brain power I questions. Okay, so let me just read it, then I will be explaining it. Okay, okay, if you skip question I, you can get to make the decision on the next question. Okay, for example, given questions like 3 comma 2, 4 comma 3, 4 comma 4 and 2 comma 5. If question 0 is solved, like this is the index 0, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so like if you solve the question 0, you will earn 3 points, right? In this format it's given, it's points. Just a second. Okay, it's like points and you have a brain power, right? Okay, so here 3 is the point, so you will get points 3, but you will unable to solve next one and two questions. Why? Because it has a brain power 2, which means you can't solve 1, 2, like you can't solve next two questions. Okay, but you can solve this one. Okay, if instead question 0 is skipped and question 1 is solved, you will earn brain power 4, but you will be unable to solve 2 and 3. Why? See, if you solve this one, it has a brain power 3, so you can't solve like 1, 2, and like if there was, you won't be able to solve the third question to it. Okay, so this is what's happening. Return maximum points you can earn from the for the exam. Okay, okay. So I think the question is clear to you. Okay, so let me just write what's given. There is a, I think I should be okay. So yeah, okay. So okay, what's given, right? We need to identify what's given. Okay. So the first thing like we have is a questions, right? Questions array in which like the first one represents the points and the second one represents the brain power. Okay. We can either solve a question or we can skip the question. Okay, so see, here we have to choose, right? 3 2 4. Let me just write it, then I will be explaining it better. Okay, 3 comma 2. What we have, then we have 4 comma 3, we have 4 comma 4, and we have 2 comma 5, right? Okay, so like suppose this is our array given, right? Okay, and if we do the indexing, it is like 0 1 2 3, right? Okay, so what we can do, we can either solve it or not. We can either solve it or not. We can either solve it or not, right? And similarly for this one also, we can solve it or not. But suppose if you solve like this one, right? If you solve it, you won't be going here. Like if you solve it, you are not gonna go here. Are you getting the point? If you solve it, you can go to this point, right? If you don't solve it, you can go here. Okay. Similarly, if you solve this one, you can't. You can go like after this one. But if you don't solve, you can go to this one. Okay. Then what we can do? Let me just use a different color. If you solve it, you will be going like somewhat here. But if you don't, you can go here. Okay. So like, is there any pattern or like we have solved this type of questions? Okay. See, we don't know when to solve. Like we see, if you will be like, if you try to find out a pattern, you won't be able to find it. Okay, because there's not a specific pattern. Okay, so we can like, we can't solve it greedily, right? No greedy, right? See what will happen if you choose the greedy. Okay, you will like try to solve this question, but you will go out of bound. Okay, so you can't solve, right? If you go to greedy, you can't, you won't be able to solve, right? You can't go greedily here. Okay, so greedy is not an option, and we need to try like all the ways, right? If you have, so recursion would come in place, right? Okay, so like in recursion, what we are gonna do is, let's suppose there is a function, there will be a function, right? Okay, in which there will be having index, we will be having questions, right? And do we need anything more? No. Okay, okay. I should write I here, right? Okay, let's suppose I is here. Okay, if I is greater than equal to, let's suppose we have n. Okay, okay. Is n, we can just return 0, right? Okay, and like suppose int, or let me just say, if you pick, like if you pick a question, then the questions of I comma 0, which represent the points, plus the next questions which we are going to solve is what? Fun. Like the, let me just write it down. Fun I plus questions of like I 1 plus 1, and can just pass the n, right? Okay, and like if we not pick it, not pick, what we will get? We will get like 0 plus this thing. I mean, not like not at entirely the whole thing, but somewhat like this only we are gonna get, right? Don't worry, I will be erasing we what we don't require here. Okay. So what we don't need here is this part, and we can just write it here. Okay. So right. Okay. So either we picked it or not picked it, and at last what we can do, we can just return the max of pick comma not pick, right? And okay, so that's the recursive code. Okay, and like it's you might have identified the pattern. It's a DP pattern in which we pick or not pick. Okay, so like once you solve this way, like applying DP is very easy, right? Okay, so yeah, that's how we're gonna solve it, right? Okay, so so yeah, let me just show you the code, and then we'll be good to go. So I have initialized, like calculated the n. I have initialized a DP, or let's just leave the DP part. Okay, suppose like DP is not there. Okay, this line doesn't exist. Have I written the same code? Yes, yes. So either you are picking it or not picking it. Okay, so like DP, like applying DP is very easy. Like if you can solve it like a recursive way, the DP is quite easy. So just initialize the DP, right, with the same size with -1. Okay, we are just pass the DP here. Okay, right. So if we're checking if the condition is true, we are returning 0. And like for DP, if it's not equal to -1, which means that it has a value other than -1. And initially the value was -1, so like it has a different value, which means that we have visited that index, right? Okay, so just returning it here, and yeah, as you can see, we are just assigning the maximum which we can obtain at a index, right? So yeah, as you can see, the code is running just fine, and we have solved this question. So yeah, and like the question and the code link will be in the description box, there you can check out. So yeah, that's all for this question. Have a nice day ahead.